Hello everyone, it's a pleasure to be with you today. My name is Douglas Thompson. I'm the manager of the International Area Sociedade Portuguesa de Inovação, SPI, and I'm an economist by background. I'm very happy to introduce the module today under the ENRICH in that project concerning funding opportunities from European Commission funding. It's a pleasure to be here. With you today. Indeed, within the region of Latin America and the Caribbean, it's a region I have quite a lot of experience in, from back starting in the late 1990s, working in the water sector in Guyana, and then working in a whole variety of sectors and projects and countries since then. So really the focus of the day is how to finance international R&I collaborations, but with a focus on what's available from the European Commission, and in particular a focus on Horizon Europe. But if we have a look at European funding opportunities in general, outside the European Commission, created by the European Union through the European Commission, there are a whole series of these. They're all focusing on promoting infrastructure, developing research and innovation, driving regional development, providing economic development. And so they go around a whole range of different types of activities and sectors and value chain. From Erasmus+, which focuses on education, Creative Europe, which focuses on the creative sector, the LIFE programme, which focuses on environment and circular economy, and last and not least in my introduction, Horizon Europe. Now, Horizon Europe is the biggest of these programmes. It's regarded as the most important funding programme in research and innovation by the European Commission. Perhaps before we start, just a little history. Horizon Europe is just the latest iteration. In fact, it's the 9th iteration of similar programmes which started, in fact, in 1984. So these programmes, they started in 1984, and each iteration, each new programme has built upon the previous programme, increased it both in terms of value, in terms of the funding available, but also in terms of the range of sectors, activities and themes. So, as we said, Horizon Europe is the iteration of the framework programmes. Indeed, it has a budget of around 97 billion euros, so you can see it's very large indeed. And with a goal to strengthen scientific and technological base of Europe, to boost innovation, capacity, competitiveness and jobs, and to deliver on the citizens' priorities and sustain the socio-economic model and values of Europe. For such a large programme, in fact, and I don't represent the European Commission, but for such a large programme, I do believe it's a very structured and understandable and simple way, simple process. There are three main things. The first one is excellent science, which has the aim of reinforcing and strengthening excellence in science in all areas. The second pillar is called Global Challenges in European Industrial Competitiveness. And this idea is to boost key technologies, to boost innovation, provide solutions. And indeed, as one can see how related it is to the Sustainable Development Goals, all of the Sustainable Development Goals. It really shows the impact it has on society. In fact, this particular pillar is structured around 6 key clusters, and let me just describe those. I think it's important to show how related it is to real society. So there's a cluster on health, there's a cluster on culture, creativity and inclusiveness, there's a cluster on civil security for society, for digital industry and space, for climate, energy and mobility, and the final cluster for food, bioeconomy, natural resources, agriculture and environment. So you can see how it really reflects society. The third pillar is called Innovative Europe, and that's more focused on stimulating market, creating breakthroughs in ecosystems, on stimulating innovation within organizations, including small and medium-sized enterprises, a sort of a one-stop shop for high potential innovation organizations. There's also actually a fourth pillar, which is focused on widening and making sure that perhaps those countries that have lower levels of research and innovation below the European norm are incentivized to increase their activities so that they can approach the higher performing countries both in Europe and globally. So that's an overview of the structure of Horizon Europe. And for such a large program, it really is quite a simple structure, I believe. But now is the question of, okay, how does an organization, how does a person, how does an individual identify the opportunity? And really, there are a series of tools and a series of information sources to make this. quite a simple process. Firstly, to say is that all the information about the opportunities are included in what's called a work program. Work programs are published every 2 years and include all the opportunities, the information about all the opportunities for Horizon Europe in that 2-year period. In this case, the current one is between 2023 and 2024. Clearly, the first work program period was 2021 to 2022. So within these series of documents are all the opportunities. And of course, to make it even more simple and more structured and more easy to understand, these work programs have been categorized into instances for each one for each individual cluster I just mentioned under Pillar 2. So there's a work program for health. There was a work program for culture and creativity. There was a work program for instance, food and the bioeconomy. Also, within the work programs are individual documents, but there's also a platform which is easily searchable. The European Commission platform, which is very easily understandable, I believe, and that has all the opportunities indeed for the next 2 years as well. And of course, they are searchable. They are searchable by keywords. They are searchable by activities. They are searchable by sectors and themes, and a whole other set of filtering techniques, which allows the user to very quickly identify within all of these opportunities which are the ones which are most interesting, which are the ones most interesting for them. And then the description of each opportunity again is quite straightforward. So it's normally a 1 to 2 page description, which includes the title, the topic, the scope, the expected outcomes, the expected budget, and any eligibility conditions. So again, at a first initial look, it's quite straightforward to identify and understand exactly what are the opportunities that are of most interest. So I think finally for today then, we want to see how does someone identify the best opportunity in terms of what is one looking for in looking at the opportunity. And I can give you some personal experience of this, because SBI itself, we are partnering in many Horizon Europe and projects and proposals, and from the previous iterations as well. So first of all, what we do is we look for certain keywords, we look for certain key activities, we look for certain key aspects of the project descriptions that are identified within the opportunities within the work program. And so we can get that in line with our previous experience, our previous understanding, whether in Horizon or indeed other projects, and indeed our core strategy as well. We also look, do these opportunities fit with our current networks, our current partners which we've developed over previous projects, or indeed networks and partners which we're trying to develop ourselves, whether a particular project, a particular opportunity could assist with that. And of course, then we look at specific sectors, and we look at specific subsectors which are identified within the work program and the opportunity description. And indeed, which I think is perhaps a final point to end here, geographical aspects as well. A number of opportunities have very specific geographical aspects, or very specific geographical desires, geographic options. There are many projects which say that they have a specific interest to Latin America, the Caribbean, or to Asia, or to Africa, or to other regions and continents across the globe outside of Europe. Of course, and it's very useful then to have some search here to search for those specific opportunities, which can be easily identified through the platform and indeed through the work programs themselves. So thank you very much for your time and attention. And today, what I wanted to do is give an introduction to what Horizon Europe is, its goals, its structure, its objectives, its budgets, and its time. I also wanted to provide an introduction to, within this huge framework, how does one identify specific opportunities to go? Now, of course, then there's a process of providing applications, etc. But I think for today, that's a very nice level of introduction to go for. And maybe very much hope it acts as a catalyst for your involvement in Horizon Europe, because there is a whole world of opportunities within the framework program, which indeed many different organizations have benefited. So thank you once again, and I wish you a good day.
Hello again, and thank you very much for participating in this class and this topic. It's a pleasure for us to have you with us in our program. So I would like to thank you again and just say that the Enriching LAC Center, it's an association that's located in Latin America. And obviously we put together, as I mentioned before, we put together Europe and Latin America. As a center, we coordinate this, we coordinate the services, and we are at your disposal to support you in any time, in any sense, to make possible our main objective, which is innovation, internationalization, and make sure that we come to the reality and projects that will benefit not only our business and our companies, but also the whole humanity. Thank you very much for being there, for being here with us. Bye-bye.